The Mexican president just had the stones to try to blackmail America and threatened U.S. gun makers. This is blatant proof that the Mexican government, like many people have thought, is in bed with the cartels. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some news that could change everything for gun manufacturers in America and the Second Amendment. Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, that's not even a Spanish last name, just threw down the gauntlet. Get this. She's threatening to hit American gun makers with terror charges. Yeah, you heard that right. But here's the best part. If the U.S. officially labels Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations, Sheinbaum says that she's taking legal action against American firearms manufacturers. But what's really going on here? Is this a legitimate concern or some political grandstanding? Let's break this all down. Guys, before we dive into this, hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell notifications so that you never miss an update on our Second Amendment rights, including when they're under attack from abroad. A huge shout out to today's sponsor, Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're passionate about firearms and want to take your knowledge to the next level, SDI offers top-tier gunsmithing and firearms technology programs. You can do it all remote. More on them later. All right, so here's the deal. The Biden administration had been considering designating Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations, a move that was originally pushed by President Donald Trump when he was on the campaign trail, and then Biden copied him. And this would allow the United States of America to take a much stronger stance against these groups, potentially even justifying military intervention if needed. But Mexico's leadership is not happy about that. Boo-hoo. In response, President Sheinbaum says that if the United States of America goes through with this, she will escalate Mexico's lawsuit against American gun makers, accusing them of being accomplices to terror. Well, first off, lady, you don't have any rights here in America. You don't get to tell us jack squat. So piss off. We don't. Now, think about this for a second. She's essentially claiming that American firearm manufacturers are responsible for the cartel violence in Mexico. Not the cartels, American gun manufacturers. These are the same cartels that Donald Trump is looking to destroy. So if the USA takes actions to destroy the violent cartels that are destroying the quality of life and safety for Mexican residents, the Mexican president is going to elevate charges against U.S. gun manufacturers that consider them terrorists? So the Mexican president is blatantly blackmailing America so that we would let the drug cartels run wild, continue to let them, own the border area on both sides. Now you know the Mexican government's real position on the cartels. They love them, they need them, and they're trying to protect them. Mexico has been after American gun makers for years, trying to hold them accountable for cartel violence. Last year, a U.S. judge dismissed Mexico's $10 billion lawsuit against gun manufacturers like Smith & Wesson and Glock, ruling that the case had no jurisdiction, which for a while people were wondering what was going to happen. Now, Mexico didn't stop there. They've kept pushing lawsuits against dealers in states like Arizona, blaming them for the illegal gun trade. Not the criminals. It's never the criminals' fault. Now, Mexico claims that somewhere between 200,000 and 750,000 firearms are smuggled into their country each year. And they say that 74% of all guns used in crimes in Mexico come from the U.S. But here's what they're conveniently leaving out. Mexico has some of the strictest gun laws in the world. And Mexico only has one legal gun store in the entire country. And yet their violent crime rate has skyrocketed. So what does that tell us? Well, the problem isn't the guns, it's the criminals who get them illegally. Here's the part where things really get interesting. Mexico's president is blaming U.S. gun manufacturers for cartel violence, but what about their own government's failures? Since 2006, nearly 500,000 people, almost 500,000 people have died in cartel-related violence. That's despite Mexico's army being deployed to fight the cartels. And let's not forget that massive amounts of drugs that these cartels are pushing into the United States. We're talking about fentanyl, heroin, meth, and cocaine flooding into American streets, killing tens of thousands every year, but no word from Scheinbaum on that. I guess that's okay because she gets a cut. Maybe. Now, the cartels functionally control, through a campaign of assassination, terror, rape, and brute force, nearly all illegal traffic across the southern border of the United States. In certain portions of Mexico, they function as quasi-governmental entities controlling nearly all aspects of society. But it's Glock's fault? It's Smith & Wesson's fault? Now, the cartel's activities threaten the safety of American people, the security of the United States, and the stability of the international order of the Western Hemisphere. But again, tell me why it's Sig Sauer's fault? Oh wait, when Mexico was suing gun manufacturers in America, they sued all of them except for Sig Sauer because Sig Sauer has the military contract for Mexico. Huh. Transparency is a son of a bitch, isn't it? Now, the cartel's activities, their proximity to and incursions into the physical territory of the United States pose an unacceptable national security risk to the United States. So let me ask you this, America. If Mexico is so concerned about cartel violence, why aren't they stopping the cartels at their source, Mexico? Why aren't they cracking down on corruption in their own government? Instead, they want to blame American businesses and American gun owners for their problems. Makes you wonder what's really going on here. Now, on January 30th of 2025, President Donald J. Trump signed an executive order that classified not just Mexican cartels, but also criminal groups from Colombia, Venezuela, and El Salvador as terrorist organizations. Now, that has a couple weeks where the DOJ has to do some things and other groups have to do some things before it is official. But the Mexican president, Scheinbaum, has accused the White House of slandering Mexico by suggesting the government is working with the cartels. But will she go forward with her threats against the U.S. gun manufacturers now that Trump has called her bluff and took action to address the cartels? Let's be real. Does anybody actually believe that Mexican politicians do not have ties to the cartels? This isn't some wild conspiracy theory. It's been proven time and time again that cartels buy off politicians, law enforcement, and even military officials. But here's the part that gun owners need to pay attention to, because this isn't just about Mexico. If Mexico succeeds in getting U.S. courts to hold gun manufacturers responsible for cartel violence in their country, that could set a very dangerous precedent. Anti-gun activists in the U.S. would love to use that as a weapon to shut down the firearms industry. In fact, American lawyers and American anti-gun groups are the ones funding Mexico's lawsuit. And let's not forget, the Biden administration already tried to bankrupt the gun industry with the backdoor regulations and lawsuits. So, they're just salivating to see what happens here. And this is why it's more important than ever to support the Second Amendment and hold our leaders accountable. The gun control lobby and foreign governments will never stop trying to take away our rights. That's why you need to stay informed. That's why you need to stay engaged. And most importantly, that's why you need to make your voice heard. So what do you all think? Should Mexico be able to sue U.S. gun manufacturers over cartel violence? And do you think the United States was right to officially label the cartels as terrorist organizations? Drop a comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss an update on our Second Amendment rights. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're looking to start a career in gunsmithing or firearms technology, check out SDI at the link down below, sdi.edu/GNG. That's it for today, guys and gals. Stay armed, stay informed, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless America. Take care.